On November 5th, 2010, Brandon left our home and walked 7 miles, stepped out in front of a tractor trailer to end his life.
Living situation that was abusive to me and my daughters. Man I was married to for 23 years.
My husband would say, I don't know why you're wearing jewelry. You don't deserve to wear jewelry.
He left behind a 3-page suicide note, and in that note he stated that he had been harassed for the past 5 years at his school.
We needed to find someplace safe to go. Both of my girls went into mental institutions. With that was my eye-opener that they needed to be protected.
He had been called gay, sissy, faggot, girly, and it just pushed him to the edge. My heart hurts knowing that he hurt that bad. I can't even imagine what he felt at that point.
Transitions offers several programs to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and other serious crimes. We operate 2 emergency shelters for victims of domestic violence and their children when they need a safe place to go.
Domestic violence, what we largely provide is the safety of a hotline and a crisis counselor online, and then continuing counseling if they come in for shelter. Then if they choose, we provide the legal advocacy. What you see on the sexual assault side is much more of the prevention education and the 24-hour response, but a lot of it is involved in going to the hospital to respond and support a victim.
We've seen victims who have utilized our services really gain a lot of strength and empowerment through counseling and through group and through being able just to make the decisions. We've had individuals in shelter who have just stated being able to come and go as they please is just such a difference from where they came from before.
He does things like stalk me and would check my phone records, find out who I was calling, who I was talking to, asking me about phone numbers that he saw on my phone records. And so I knew he would track us down there, so I got a throwaway cell phone and called Transitions, and it was the best place we could have ended up.
I never knew there was such a thing as verbal abuse. I was always wrong, and I could never do anything right. Patty helped to show me what was right. She helped me believe in myself. She gave me a start to find out who I was. She was there to help pull it out. She gave me the courage to break the cycle that I was in.
We understand a lot about what abuse looks like, feels like, and we don't have to take that. So it's empowering being in an environment where women have suffered and children have suffered, and there's a resource out there called Transitions that has made our life possible today.
The Transitions programs have really helped my students to be allowed to name a behavior, what the issue is, and to ask for help. They don't want to be a snitch, which is a word that they use a lot. The Transition program has given them the opportunity to come forward and say, this is happening to me.
I was inspired to join because of the great need of educating everyone, men and women, about the needs that families have for services that keep them safe. We simply need to be conscious and aware and make this known. This can't be swept under the rug. People need to know that this exists right here, not somewhere else, not in the community next door, not across the country, but right here under our very noses.
We see scores drop and grades lower because they can't separate what happens at home with what happens in the school. And then if they don't have a clear mind when they come to school, the academics tend to be difficult for them as well.
Knowledge is power, and so with education, if they understand what is going on, the likelihood is with that education, the individuals involved in these situations will have the power to come forward and speak up and ask for services and ask for help and seek guidance to get out of those situations. Education is the key to breaking the cycle of abuse and other situations.
We spent Christmas in transitions, and they made sure that every person there had something.
They would provide gifts for the children of the women that were going.
Transitions made that possible to not feel alone while you were there, because it's a home environment, you're relaxed, you're not worried about security. It makes it easier to foster those kinds of relationships.
Not just a place, it's more like a home, a family where you feel welcomed and comfortable and safe.
It was the best place we could have ended up.
Anything from a voluntary standpoint or additional funding that can assist transitions, the more they can take off my plate or the department's plate in regards to handling these type of things. But overall, I mean, that's the key. And anytime you talk money, it can be invested in something that can begin to reduce a cycle of something like domestic violence.
Law enforcement person has their job to do. The nurse examiner has her job to do with collecting forensics evidence, but there's nobody really taking care of the victim. And that's why we've formed these teams to help victims.
One of the most valuable things that our volunteers can do is come in and provide recreation time for our children who are currently residing in our shelter.
Transitions program is invaluable as a part of my guidance curriculum. I don't know what I would do without someone else to help me to get the message across to the kids that you're not alone, that there are other kids going through exactly what you're going through, and you can ask for help and you can work through these things and you will get through middle school.
The work that we do and the agency overall is just a phenomenal agency. We offer individual counseling, we offer group counseling. We have medical and legal advocates that will go with a victim and be supportive to a victim and help empower that individual to take back their life.
You need someplace safe, and they provide that for them. And it's not just for the women, it's for their family, the kids as well, because the kids suffer just as much.
I want people to know about transitions because kids at my age don't normally think about things like helping people. So if they get used to it when they're younger, it might be a part of them. So when they grow up, they keep on doing things like that.